folks. Welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Show and number 247 in an ongoing series.
And everybody said we would make it to 5.
Yeah. Well, Dwayne Weiss, my good friend, is right here with me, and we're ready to plow new territory here today for you.
That's right.
And just think about that. You know, someday, folks, when you got nothing to do and all day to do it, you can just sit down and watch 247 straight hours of our show. And you'll be a better man or woman for it.
Or institutionalized.
One or the other.
Yeah.
It could go either way, folks. Well, Dwayne,
Yes, sir.
shall we do our community duty first?
Of course.
The
What do we
folks in charge of Norfolk, I guess, whatever this is all about, have been bugging us. The Norfolk Master Plan. So now we're getting postcards.
I guess we don't rate. Get one of those.
Demanding our feedback.
Hmm.
So here's the form to fill out. So
Are you
your
getting-
homework
Are you getting those in
assignment-
the mail?
I think so. Some of them came in the mail. Some of them I picked up the post office. But so it's pretty straightforward, Dwayne.
Oh, well.
And I think it'll be interesting for us to do this, and we'll compare notes at the next meeting,
Okay. Good idea.
next get-together, and then I'll bring them to City Hall, Town Hall, or whatever the hell that thing is up there, and you and I, our voices will be heard,
That's right.
or they'll end up in the wastebasket, one or the other. But anyhow,
They're sending out. I have not seen this, but
they sent it out a couple, 3 times, I
Okay.
think.
I don't know where mine
I'm
is.
gonna just share some dirty laundry here with you. I suspect they're not being overwhelmed by responses,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying, "Come on, folks, please tell us your input," because we're not on top of
you know
our
what?
game here.
I think you're spot on there,
Yeah,
because this town's got a preponderance of citizens.
yeah.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They're making a lot of money
That's
going
right.
into got Boston jobs or proprietorships, and they don't. Whatever the locals do, that's fine.
You know, I think you're absolutely spot on. And I think they're also younger people who are mobile and who also have ideas of getting better jobs, which means relocation. So they are not going to establish deep roots. And not only that, but also, thinking back on my days of working, there were days when I brought work home at night
Yep.
because I simply couldn't get through it.
Mhm.
And it's stuff I wanted to do. It was a couple of big quotations or something, or an article I was writing for a trade publication. And I said, listen, the phone rang all day today. I couldn't get a damn thing done. I think there's probably a lot of that, too. I think there's a lot of guys that are very, very busy, and gals
Mhm.
that are very,
yeah.
very busy. And also, they have 1.5 or 1 2/3 little children running around, and that tends to make you busy too. So they just don't have time to plow through this and go, no. But we can make time.
What else do we have?
Time. We get time. It's on our side.
And not even too much of that left anymore.
right.
I mean, the clock is ticking on us, but as far as day to day, we got time to do stuff.
You know, Henry Kissinger died
Yes, sir, it did.
at the age of 100.
Yep.
Well, I guess overnight or yesterday. And Charlie Munger died
Yep, that was a day or two ago.
Yep. 99 and 11 months of age. But it's something we all have to face.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I've touched on this before with you, but you know, there are a lot of people, intelligent people, squared away people, who are simply in a state of denial. They will not talk about.
They don't want to even think about it, talk about nothing. Yep.
And anyway.
Yeah, we have this conversation at home, you know, both of us. And I've been on and on and on, but the fact is I will probably go first simply because the man's lifespan is shorter than a woman's.
Exactly.
I said, you've got to be prepared to start stepping up onto some of these things, because look at your particularly your stout friends that you stayed in touch with. Out of 9 or 10, 5 or 6 now have lost their husband. I said, they're all widows. And they had to step up to take care of the day-to-day business, because we had friends that when he died, she had no idea what's going on.
Well, fortunately for me, my wife took over the checkbooks and all that stuff the day we were married.
Yeah, that's good.
And she's in charge. I don't have any problems at all worrying about how she's going to react. She'll be fine.
Good.
But there's other stuff too. The cars.
That's what I was more referring to.
Just mundane stuff.
Things
like
in the
that.
house.
Yeah, the investments, the house getting some work, and but you know, it's an inevitability that it's coming, and there's nothing we can do about it.
No.
But denying it, and I've had people just absolutely not figure, a couple of times just go like this and run away from me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear that. Come on, you're going to jinx me.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Jinx you, my ass.
Yep.
But anywho, but it's amazing what those guys accomplished so late in life. Charlie Munger and Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, I got some points here. I was thinking with Kissinger and stuff that I took up. He had quite a life.
He sure
quite
did.
a list of accomplishments.
Oh, incredible.
And depending on where you sat, in the left or right, is how you viewed him too.
Right.
But that's always a good thing. If the left sees you one way and the right sees you the other way, you're probably doing it the right way.
Yeah, you're probably stuck in the middle somewhat, and that's where a lot of us belong.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are in the middle, because they are either inept or afraid of making a decision, are the ones that bother me.
Yeah. The worst thing you can do is nothing.
That's right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. Henry Kissinger on AI just said the other day, technology has outrun our intellect.
I think that's a very true statement when you look at the population as a whole.
He was 100 years old.
Yeah.
He didn't run away from AI.
No.
He investigated it, and he's warning us.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we are plunging forward into AI full speed ahead. And can you imagine how comfortable I feel with the Biden administration running this? I mean, good Lord, they can't even control a border, for heaven's sakes. They won't talk about it.
I don't think there's any political party or administration that can administer something like AI. That's going to evolve how it evolves. And the technical people will control that.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, but we have to fund it. And I think that there'll be plenty of hocus pocus there about who gets funded, whether it's Columbia University or UCLA or some think tank down in Florida or whatever.
AI is not. Some people see AI as an entity. It's a combination of all our technologies that are coming together. And, you know, the ultimate was that they would say, well, these things are going to be able to think. Probably not as we think thinking is, but they will be able to calculate now and pick the best possible solutions.
They will be able to examine the parameters and the evidence and come up with their pre-programmed
right, exactly.
Logic to decide what's the best path. If it stops there, Dwayne, fine. But if that decision is also binding on us, in other words, if they throw the gears into full speed ahead, who's going to be smart enough to look at what they've done and said, hey, wait a minute, time out.
Yeah.
This isn't the way to go, when we don't know whether they're, we're not on foot or horseback, for heaven's sakes, 99%. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I'm not. I don't know whether I'm on foot or horseback talking about AI, except that
neither one of us are real techies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's one other thing this morning. My little pieces of paper here are what I gleaned from this morning's news.
Okay.
75% of the people in this country feel China is overtaking us as the world superpower.
Yep. I agree. I think so. I think that's a fair estimate.
I think so too. And if we don't wake up,
well, it'll
be fait accompli.
It's our own fault.
Of course it is. I mean, we keep cutting the defense budget. We have this Obama appeasement program. We have send out convoluted messages about our stance. Our stance is very unclear with this man in the White House and his advisors. So, I mean, it's our own fault. You're absolutely right.
You got to remember, it was Kissinger who opened up China in 1971.
And Russia.
And Russia. But prior to that time, China was just...
over there.
Over there. They ate with chopsticks. They were Chinese.
Food was good. Yeah.
But he started to open it up to avenues of business. The problem was we didn't know when to say when. Now we started shipping everything over there because we had the source of cheap labor. And everybody said, well, I can send that to China and make it for less.
We sent an entire industry to China.
Many industries went there. And if they didn't go there, they stole it.
Yeah. I mean, good Lord.
We made them the power that they are.
That's right. You're right.
So we've got really nobody to blame but ourselves. And we got to stop sending everything that we got. And, that agreeing to those stupid rules. We look at them as stupid now. They weren't stupid to them.
Right.
Like, if you wanted to do business in China, you had to give up your corporate secrets.
Yeah.
How do you actually make that? Well, that's a corporate secret. But, if you want to do business in China, you have to tell them how you make it.
Do you know one of the great secrets of all times was how to construct and shape the wing on the huge passenger planes that Boeing builds?
Yep.
Do you know we gave that secret to the Chinese?
Well, I don't doubt that at all. I'm sure we did. We gave a lot of everything.
Can you believe that? Yeah, I mean, why don't we give them the instructions on building the atomic bomb too? I mean, gee. Oh, don't do it that way. Here's a better way to do it.
Yep. Yeah. We developed a lot of technologies, sent it over there to manufacture. They stole it, and now they're manufacturing it. We're out of business.
We were led by the naive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they'd never do that.
Yeah, and it's cheaper to send it over there.
Yeah.
Less money. No.
We'll make a lot of money, our corporation.
Mhm.
Yeah. What else? Ramaswamy's political director resigned and joined the Trump team. Is that a big deal? Yeah, maybe to most people, no. But to guys like you and I, this is an interesting turn of events. It ends Ramaswamy's run, obviously. Obviously, he shared with this political advisor. I'm limping along, man. If I don't pull a miracle in a couple of early primaries, I'm done. I'm cooked.
I'm not sure that between him and the outhouse, whether he actually believed that he was going to get elected president. I saw that as more of I'm a rich man. I got a lot of power. I'm playing a nice ego game here. I'm on TV. People are knowing my name. Do I really think I'm going to get elected? No.
No. And my choice, if it's not me, is Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And he really spoke in great length about the Trump programs and the Trump philosophy and how his presidency would be very similar to Trump. He didn't do Trump any harm.
No. But also, I think that if Donald Duck was leading in the polls by 40 points, he'd have hooked up with Donald Duck.
Yeah. You may have something there. But it's fait accompli now.
Yeah,
he's out of the race.
Because I don't think he was electable anyway. Because unfortunately, a lot of electability today is how Hollywood are they? How good looking or are not bad looking? How do they present themselves? How do they walk? How do they dress? That's got a lot of influence today.
Oh, no question. We're a very shallow country.
Yes. There's great percentage of people that will vote for somebody because, well, he's good looking.
Oh, sure.
Or he speaks not highly, speaks well.
Graduated from...
Obama got millions of votes because he was a very talented speaker.
That speech at the Democratic Convention, way back when he was still a puppy.
Yep.
The folks remember that.
Yep.
Oh, boy. But what you see there and what you get...
One of them said he could call you an SOB, and you'd thank him.
Yeah. You'd say, boy, well spoken, Mr. President.
Right.
Yeah. So I got one more thing from today's news. Tonight is Newsom versus DeSantis.
Is that tonight? Okay, good. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Is this a 2028 preview?
They hope so.
Yeah.
If it's not within DeSantis, if it's not a 24 preview with him, but I don't think Newsom's ready for 24. But I think those two are looking down the road.
Oh, they definitely are.
Oh,
yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how forceful DeSantis is. I think he'll be very forceful.
Yeah, I do too. He's as blunt as Newsom is not.
Right.
I mean, they've got a
polar opposites.
Yeah. It should be interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be. And I think it is a preview of 2028.
I got to see. I don't believe Newsom's got a temper. But
I don't know.
He seems so California laid back.
Yeah.
That if he has one, I think DeSantis is going to be able to bring it out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the thing goes.
Yeah.
I may watch it.
If you give them each one weapons, I'm going to bet on DeSantis.
Yeah, Yeah. But you know what? Newsom is going to be Bobby Handsome.
Okay.
Is my hair just right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Ladies. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Now, a recent Gallup poll shows that 65% of Americans believe that a conspiracy was responsible for JFK's assassination. And 16% believe the CIA was involved. When will all this information that's been gathered be released?
It's supposed to have been released by now.
That's right.
That's what perpetuates these kind of, wait a minute, what are they hiding? Theory, ideas. I, for the life of me, don't know why they don't release it at this point.
Well, my answer to this is never. There is still a feeling among many in Washington that JFK was a god to be worshipped. If everything comes out, he will be revealed as a flawed human being, a serial womanizer, as a president who authorized assassinations around the globe, and with his brother operated a totally independent of his cabinet. The Congress, the FBI, the CIA, they made it up as they went along with no regard for laws. Now,
I think that's pretty much common knowledge already.
Yeah.
It's not.
But this was a feature article in the Wall Street Journal some time ago. Thomas Naftali, a senior research scholar at Columbia School of International and Public Affairs, and who is working on a presidential biography of JFK, is the one who wrote the article that wording came from. Now, I think also, Dwayne, Jerry Ford alluded to something in a press conference he had in Michigan, a very low-key one.
Okay.
Because he was from Michigan.
Right, exactly.
And it was one of these, a couple of local newspapers would love to, have you on cable TV, and we'll talk about, the blah, 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 the whole investigation. And he said some things on that TV program. Somebody got that TV program because it has never seen the light of day after being shown once. Now, if someone has a copy of that, they have some. But what came out was Jerry Ford said, look, here's what we were faced with.
Yep.
Here's what we think really happened. And there's no way you can put those two together. They are so different. And this business about the Warren Commission, they just said, that can't have happened. This, Jerry Ford said, we were forced into awkward compromises that no one was happy with. Now, Frank Sinatra was not mentioned in the Warren report.
Yeah, but he's hooked in there.
He is. And they talked about him at great length, that he was a conduit to the mafia.
Correct.
Who obviously had some skin in this game, too.
The public personification of JFK and the, what do they call it? The fairy tale existence.
Kismet or whatever,
It was totally different than real life. I know he used to take women into the White House swimming pool at night and have the the Secret Service standing at the door in case his
Jackie.
wife came down the
Right.
hallway.
Yeah, they had a nude swim
Hmm.
every night. Him and the two girls. That
But
were,
if you said that to all of Dorchester and these little old Democratic ladies, oh, you were just a terrible person for saying that. You know, they voted for Kennedy. It didn't matter what it was. Well, it's Kennedy. He has to be almost a saint.
those two girls that are prominently in the history of John F. Kennedy used to go swimming with him every night. And so reporters did some digging. They were in the typing pool.
Oh yeah.
Neither one of them could type.
Mm-hmm. Just keep them around.
They made good companions.
Yeah.
Made his back feel better. Ay, ay, ay. The latest. Oh, okay. Here's something that you might be interested in. Pies for Thanksgiving
Yeah.
in order of preference. So they asked people, what was your favorite pie for Thanksgiving? 23% of the people responded,
Pumpkin.
pumpkin is correct. Second prize goes to, at
Blueberry.
14%,
Blueberry.
no, pecan.
Really?
Yeah,
Probably should look the difference between above the Mason-Dixon line and below the Mason-Dixon line.
yeah. Third place with 12 was
Blueberry.
apple. 8%.
8%.
Dwayne, you're never going to get the next two. 8% was sweet potato.
Oh, God, no.
6% chocolate.
Oh, come on.
5%
Where's my favorite blueberries?
cherry.
No, that's good. I like that.
5% blueberry.
Wow, jeepers.
And then 3% or less was given to Boston cream, banana cream,
Mm-hmm.
peanut butter,
Oh, peanut
Key-
butter pie.
key lime, strawberry, lemon meringue, coconut cream, peach, and rhubarb.
That's another. That's a. Mm.
That's a fierce one. So I was shocked by this.
Not the first one, but after that.
Yeah, I would have put blueberry in first place. That's my favorite pie.
Me too. That's
Yeah.
why I kept saying
Yeah.
it. And
So
this irritates the home front. What kind of pie you want? I want blueberry from Table Talk. No, I'm going to make it. I said, no, let's have it from Table Talk. I'm not buying up Table Talk pie. I'm going to make them. I said, they make the best blueberry pie in the world.
no. Ay, ay, ay. We marry them.
Mm-hmm.
We do it. We think we have our wits about us.
I tried to tell her, well, you wouldn't have to work. You wouldn't have to do anything. No
Yeah.
mess, no fuss. No, I'm going to make it.
What if we have company and they see that I serve a stupid pie from Table Talk? Yeah.
And then she says, well, how is it? You want to say, well, it's okay, but not as good as Table Talk. But you think, no, I better not say anything.
She prepares my food.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, the latest Fox poll, the top 10 issues for voters. And you and I touched on this
Yeah, we did.
a couple of times.
I think I got notes here on that yet.
But the number one concern, 89% of the people, they must have got a list of things they could choose from. 89% checked off inflation and higher prices.
Well, yeah, that's one that affects everybody.
It does.
Yeah.
Interesting factoid again this morning on the news. A study came out and said the average household has to have $11,000 more
Mm-hmm.
to live the lifestyle they lived when Trump was president. In other words, Bidenomics has cost us $11,000 with inflation and
there's no
all.
question about it.
Yeah. So number two, I would not have guessed this. Threats to personal rights. Now, is the abortion thing there?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Number three, by the way, these three, threats to personal rights, and this one and the next one, all got 82% mentioned.
Okay.
So the second one, higher crime rates.
Okay.
And the third one mentioned is political divisions.
I can see that in that not so much they're Republican or Democrat, it's that they can't get anything done. When you come up to the budget can't get passed. This can't get passed.
Bipartisan might as well be a discontinued term that we take it out of Webster's dictionary because nobody uses it. Yeah. Number 5 was 74%, the Israeli-Hamas war.
Everybody sees it as a terrible, terrible thing, but I'm not sure when Jane Doe goes to bed at night that they really worry too much about it, because unless you got a relative or a dog in a fight over there, you kind of go, well, that's really too bad, but
yeah.
What am I doing for Sunday dinner?
Yeah. Especially, 74% and 73% are as a dead heat as far as I'm concerned. But the next one, I worry about it more. Attacks by Islamic terrorists. And they are in this country.
Oh, no problem.
And there are cells in this country, and we're going to see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've been here for a long time.
Yep. They have laid low.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, 72%, gun laws. Now, gun laws can be pro or con.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure that's a real definitive answer. 8, the abortion policy. 71% of the people were concerned about that. Again, pro or con. Number 9, and I'm surprised it's down at number 9, 69%, border security. I'm surprised it's not higher. But up here we're insulated from it.
They don't care. People,
that's right.
If you ask somebody in Lubbock, Texas, or Laredo,
El Paso,
about it,
Eagle Pass.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big deal. You ask somebody in Kansas.
It's number 1.
Yeah, you ask somebody in Kansas, they don't care.
Yeah. I think you're right. 60, and then tied with it at 69%, political showdown over the national debt. I'm sorry. I don't know of one person that I've talked to that talks about that.
Really wakes up at night and says, woe is we.
Yeah,
what am I going to do?
Wakes up with the blind sweats.
Yeah. No, most of them couldn't tell you. You take the average Joe off the street and ask him about the debt. And he says, there's how much, I don't know.
Yeah.
What was effective? Not that I know of.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, those jerks down there will come up with a patch on
somebody will
it
do something.
Yeah. Then 67%, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. That's fading. That's not first page material anymore.
This is media driven again.
Yep.
When the Israeli thing came up, the Ukraine went down because the media only handles one crisis at a time, and who's ever got the spotlight is king right now.
Number 12 is 13 and 14. We could probably spend some time on it, but we got a lot of things to talk about. Number 12, 67% anti-Semitism. Surprised it's not higher, but it's considerably higher than it was 3
Yeah,
months
oh,
ago.
well, we've got the media's got
That's right.
involved.
Oh, is that going on?
Yep, exactly.
Number 13, 58% mention climate control.
Again, I'd be interested in who they polled,
Right.
where they polled, and who they polled, because
It's Fox News, and the way these numbers come out, I've got to believe they gave people a big checklist, just
probably
like this,
instead of coming up off the cuff.
And,
Yeah.
And the top 10 will cull them out, and then we'll put them in order of preference.
When you do that, you get some of these, I don't want to call them peripheral issues, but the less than spotlighted issues, because they see it as a choice. Otherwise, if you said, put down your top 5 or your top 10 concerns, it wouldn't even come into their mind, but they'd say, oh yeah, climate control.
I have contempt for what the average person in this country considers news, or what their concerns are. Their concerns are, did you get any beer today, Gert? We ran out last night.
Yeah,
Joe Sixpack. He's concerned about that. He's also concerned about trading his car in. And
exactly.
What are we going to get for a new car? And we need the house painted. And
these are problems that affect people every day, and that's what they're concerned with.
That damn kid of ours is bleeding us dry up at that damn university. He's calling for money again.
Yep.
Yeah, that is what Joe Sixpack and Judy Chocolate Bonbons talk about.
Yeah, well,
that's their life.
That's their life.
Yeah. And to some degree, that's my life.
Yeah. We are always concerned what affects us first.
Yeah.
And what affects other people and other countries second, third, fourth, fifth down the road.
And then our conscience, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 14, the final one. Transgender issues. 46% mention in this poll.
Again, you're right. It had to be picked from a pool, because I don't think if you picked it out, if you had to pick it out of space and just say, pick an issue, 5% would say something like that. Maybe 1%. Yeah.
Now, Dwayne, we tend to lay it on the line here on this show.
Yeah, good, because sometimes it slaps us and sometimes it works.
But I'm going to tell you, I've had it about up to here with transgender issues. I'm going to solve it right now.
Yeah.
Take a look at the plumbing. It's either a boy or a girl, and forget about it. That's it.
That's one valid school of thought. So
I don't want to hear any more about it.
That's right.
So there. Glad I got that off my chest.
Well, you better pick a different word, maybe.
Interesting thing.
Yeah.
They also, as part of this poll, said issues that the Republicans handle better than the Democrats. Border security, overwhelming.
Yep.
National security, terrorism, inflation, foreign policy, crime, and government spending.
Fair. Those are Republican issues.
The Democrats handle better than the Republicans. Number 1, transgender issues.
Oh, sure.
Number 2, abortion. Number 3, climate change. And number 4, anti-Semitism.
I don't see any argument with any of them.
Yep. And I got to tell you something, Dwayne.
That's why you got Republicans, and that's why you got Democrats.
If these numbers do not change, the Republicans are going to win. next fall.
Depends on who they put up for a candidate.
These issues. Also, one other issue. Are you worried about Islamic terrorists? Concerned, 73% of the people. 26% were not concerned.
I think a large percentage of people are concerned. Are they obsessed with it?
Yep.
No. But are they concerned? Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You got to be a fool today to just say that, well, I'm not concerned at all. It doesn't matter to me.
The lighting of the Rockefeller Center last night was a hassling event, I guess. They had demonstrators, pro-Hamas demonstrators.
Yeah. I didn't watch anything last night.
I only saw the headline this morning, and I didn't see the meat of the article. But they were very afraid that those demonstrators were going to interrupt that tree lighting ceremony, and they did, I guess. Mm-hmm. Now, if they did, that's going to blow up in their face.
A lot of things should blow up in a lot of people's face. You can demonstrate, you can chant, do anything you want, as long as you're not violating somebody else's rights. Here, this one, it just leads right into this, one of the little articles. Striking Oregon teachers disrupt morning rush hour. How many of those striking teachers really believe that by you sitting down on that bridge in the morning and people can't get to work, doctors can't get into the hospital, this person this guy misses a flight, is going to endear you to your cause? I mean, if you said that, oh, the teachers need more money, but after what they did to me this morning, to hell with them. Fire them. That's all they're going to do. Why they think that disrupting traffic or putting somebody else out is going to enamor people to their cause. And it's not just teachers. It can be union, Teamsters, or anybody.
You know, Dwayne, it's like the conversation we had about these sub-morons that glued their hands to the floor.
Oh,
it is so stupid. You leave them there.
What was it, Wimbledon or no, U.S. Open, I think, one of the tennis matches. These fools, I guess they glued themselves to the seat of the wall or something. I said, Mike, just leave them.
Leave them. Yeah.
A couple of days, they'll be saying, hey, I'm thirsty.
Yeah. They're screaming and yelling, you're being cruel to us. We have to go to the bathroom.
You put yourself there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. When you walk to the edge of the precipice and jump off, don't expect me to come running out to
me neither.
I can't do it. So, why would Hamas supporters and Jew haters do this at Rockefeller Center? And I made a note here to myself. Because they want to intimidate and disrupt any pleasures normal people may pursue until the inconvenienced scream out, give them what they want, so they'll stop this awful stuff and we can get back to our lives on Martha's Vineyard in the Hamptons.
Well, you're right there.
And in our gated communities.
You're right there. They believe that if they interrupt or inconvenience enough people with enough things, that they will go to the mayor or the president or the chief of police and get something done. But it doesn't work that way. It's never really ever resulted in that.
But look what happens when Black Lives Matter burn down portions of cities, destroy police cars, riot, rip the stores apart. There's no fallout from that.
No, not then. Well, everybody was so afraid of saying anything.
Yeah, because you can't talk about that. Well, we talk about it. All right? And
corporations just threw money at him. Here, go. Yeah, exactly. Just go away. Don't go around. But, since they found out now that those 2 or 3 women that started were crooks, and they've taken millions of dollars and bought homes and fancy cars and everything else with the money.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you don't hear about them anymore. Because if you were a big Black Lives Matter supporter, you were embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If somebody said, all right, we're hitting Scranton, Pennsylvania tonight or tomorrow night, the same bunch would be there and they'd do it again.
Oh, as far as protesting goes, I think there's a lot of professional protesters. That's what they do. They travel from cause to cause, to city to city. If you picked out another crowd and did it, you'd find that there are certain, particularly the people with the bullhorns. That's not their first rodeo.
They're intimidating, and people are intimidated.
Because they already got the signs made,
Sure.
professionally made.
Yeah.
You know, that didn't happen overnight.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you.
I remember watching the Trump rallies.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Monica, I said, look here, see that woman there? See that one there? One there? Women for Trump? I said, watch. Watch them right next to the rallies that we got. Wherever he went, they were always the same rows and the same people in the background. They were women for Trump, they were farmers for Trump, they were something else, but they were always the same faces.
Yep. Wonder how that works.
I don't know.
Is that face-changing kits that
Yes.
are available?
Yep.
One other note, too, before I see what you're up to over there. Americans are being wary and weary, both,
Of what?
of the Ukrainian quagmire. As Putin puts out a feeler to stop the tragedy, as he put it. Now, if we don't jump all over this, he's going to continue this is a tragedy that's happening. And there's going to be less and less support in this country for the Ukrainian adventure
Absolutely.
that we've embarked upon. Whether it was right or not, there's going to be pressure to listen to what Putin says. Well, what Putin didn't say is, I'm keeping all the land that we seized.
Yep.
Okay? And we're not going to help rebuild the Ukraine. And the people are going to say, in this country, well, so be it. Because folks in this country don't have long memories.
Oh, God, no. Oh, jeepers, no. But,
In this policy of appeasement,
yep.
Putin is reading the White House perfectly.
Yep, and it takes an immediate advantage. If you get half a step back, he's going to go a step ahead.
Yep. And
10 mil.
And he has a bone in his hand,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the dog.
Yep.
Oh, doggy want a bone? Doggy want a bone? And the doggy's sitting there salivating and jumping up and down. And that's
Exactly.
what is going on. So we are backing out, I think, of the Ukrainian event that we embarked upon.
There are
We're not
several
sending them the
consequences there.
equipment.
I think there are several consequences there, many of them. One is, I don't think Ukraine is the end game there either. You got Estonia, you got Georgia, you got the Maldives.
Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. He is absolutely convinced
Yes, they belong to him.
Are Russian
That's right.
countries.
And some of the old USSR,
Moldova,
Yeah.
he's more or less taken
Georgia,
over Moldova.
all them.
Georgia, yeah.
He wants them back. That was part of Russia. USSR was Russia.
You know what we'll say about that? We'll say exactly what Neville Chamberlain said.
He said our time.
Yeah. Moldova, that we're not going to get all upset about that little country
Yeah, what do we care
so
about them?
far away that we know so little about. That's how he described
yeah.
Czechoslovakia.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we'll say when the jackboots go into Moldova and it's all over. Well,
and number two, if we don't step up here What are you going to say the next time there's a casualty or a crisis? Trust us. Stand behind us. We'll stand behind you. Yeah, they'll say, sure you will.
An interesting dynamic is going on in Europe, though. The Europeans have said, we are raising our defense budgets and we are sending more and more support.
Yep.
Well, if they'd done that 2 years ago, it might have been a different story. But their backs are to the wall.
Plus, now this is way off the wall, but there's an advantage for us supporting Ukraine.
Yes, there is.
That's a field laboratory test right there that we don't have to get dirty our hands with. We can send out armaments, we can put out systems, and test them. Do they really work? We don't have to get involved ourselves. We got our own testing people right there.
If we were doing that, I would agree with you. But we're sending them older equipment.
Yeah, but Bill, don't ever think you know the story in a situation like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know diddly poop what's really going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I wished that their policy in Washington was stalemate. That's what we want. We want a stalemate there.
That's a safe policy.
But here's what happens in the stalemate. They still continue shooting at each other, and civilians die, or they starve to death, or they die from lack of a doctor's attention, or whatever, and they still are destroying the property of the other country. Bang, 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 bang. But they are satisfied to play on the small ball field without making a major move one way or a major move the other. That's the Obama strategy. Bring it to a stalemate, but people die.
I think that if Ronald Reagan was in charge right now, you'd see fifth column activities big time. You'd see, all right, you're going after the Ukraine's power structure? Well, guess what? Tomorrow morning, some saboteurs are going to blow up the power structure in Moscow. And they're going to be Russians. They're not Ukrainians, they're Russians that we have actually hired or dissident Russians, all that kind of stuff. All of a sudden, the things are going to change now.
Do you know that there is a group of our military that would oppose that, hammer, tooth, and nail?
Well, yeah.
We've got people in the military, in the hierarchy, that are anti-military.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And this is, what a sad situation this is. How the hell did we get ourselves in this situation? Well, I know how we got in this
The elect presidents never had anything to do with the military.
That's exactly right. That have no idea about strategy.
That's right.
That couldn't even play checkers. They couldn't even figure that out.
Yep.
That we have Pogo was this great cartoon. Him and Albert Alligator were in the boat, and we has discovered the enemy, Albert, and it is us.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a famous line.
That's right. The people that are getting promoted in the military are the ones that accept the woke police.
There are. There's certain amount. You got to have to go along to get along, or get along to go along.
And I don't know this for sure, but I'll be willing to bet you there are captains that are being jumping up to lieutenant colonels and just jumping right over the major's rank because they're moving them up fast because the changes they want. And you can't. Do you know that Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City,
Yep.
has announced that the new school safety agents they hired 250 of them. That was a mistake. The city cannot afford them, and notes have gone out to parents that they must volunteer to keep order in the schools. Now, there is a dynamic mayor.
Well, parents should be involved in the first place.
They should, but should they be in the schools patrolling the aisles and breaking up fights and searching kids for contraband and curbing foul language and all that?
Well, I don't. Technically, probably not. But on the other hand, just show you how your little Johnny actually behaves in school.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Well, they're only picking on him because he's black or he's Puerto Rican, or else they don't like these kind of kids. Put some parents in there and see what really is happening.
You know, if I thought it was a control program like that, I'd say you're absolutely right. Let's do it, but it's not going to be.
No.
And some very frail people are going to volunteer for this. Maybe grandparents, who knows? And there's going to be some people hurt physically. These people.
Well, put them in as observers. Don't have to put them in. But I think and don't make it voluntary. The kid comes home and says, "Ma, you got 2 weeks duty next week or next month," and then somebody else, a dozen of them, 200 or maybe 100, maybe 50, in observing what's going on in these troubled schools.
Well, I'll tell you what. I can tell you one thing that's not going on in these troubled schools. That's education.
Oh, absolutely not. There's no education going on it.
By the way, as we end up the first half of our show, is there any doubt in your mind that Nikki Haley is running for vice president?
I don't know. I would have, a week or two ago, I would have said, yeah, there's no doubt. Now, I'm not sure. I think that I may be totally wrong, but I mean, let's stand by and see what happens in the next month or two. I think you're going to see a meteoric rise in her candidacy, especially hooking up with the Koch brothers now.
Yeah, no, she's getting hooked up with some money people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think our end game would be great to be president.
I think that would be an acceptable fallback.
If I'm elected vice president, then I'm going to be the next president.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
So she's running
by a matter of elimination here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, folks, we're going to have a little break here for you to get up and stretch.
Pop some popcorn.
Yeah,
do something.
or get a couple of cans of Miller High Life, or whatever, and think about things. And we'll be right back with more great stuff. I know you can't believe that, but it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah, it always is.
Yep.